Thought I smelled... Sorry. Thought I smelled smoke earlier, but it turns out the roof was just on fire. Hip-hop fans, I see. This was going so well until he called my name. Right. Last time I came here, didn't really go so well. Had a bit of a weird vibe from the place from the moment I came in. No offence, it's lovely and everything. It's just, it was tripping me up the entire time I was on stage. And when I came off, I started to piece it together. And I realised what it was. And it's that you could film a porn here. In fact, it almost looks like someone already has. You've got like leopard fabric, you've got ambiguous lighting, you've got the sound of rain on a glass ceiling to remind you there's a cold, harsh world out there. You could even talk about those feelings on this couch, given that it was dry. So yeah, no offence to the venue, I have to keep saying that because I want to come back. But it is really nice. It's just I felt like depraved, ludicrous things were going to happen whilst I was on stage, and I was wrong, because that's what happens when the comedy is over. I don't know if any of you have stayed past that point, but the creatures of the night seem to just file in, and it starts to look like a gothic fairy tale. Like Pan's Labyrinth, there's just a group of well-dressed scenesters down at the bottom, like dancing in pure synchronicity to one meth head's iPod. A lone Spanish girl wandering through looking terrified. That's a Pan's Labyrinth reference. I half expected the dude with the eyes to show up and just sweep some hipster's drink off the table. But, anyway, no, I tell you what I did like about it was this is one of the few venues I've been to where when someone says, "Hey, that guy with the long hair and the beard," people go, "Which one?" I don't know, it just made me feel at home. And I'm not saying I'm one of you, because I understand that this is a scraggly excuse for facial hair, but it's not like it's an attempt. It's just the result of laziness. This is just not shaving. You don't look at someone not smoking and say, "Hey, that guy's preventing himself from getting cancer." They're just a guy standing there. You're like, just because I'm not doing something doesn't mean I'm doing something else. I'm just lazy. And I'm very lazy at the moment. Recently, I've been getting up later and later in the day, and I still live at home because I'm 18, and half of you just turned against me, but we'll forget that. And I came downstairs, and it was 3 p.m. and I was still in my dressing gown. And my mum said, "You've got to get out of this lazy cycle you've been in recently." And I said, "Well, you're one to talk. You're still wearing your dressing gown." She said, "I have MS." I said, "That's besides the point." Suddenly it's do as I say and not as I... No. You know the one. You know. Just because I messed it up. Anyway. This stand-up routine is supposed to be about things that piss me off, like this mic stand. There we go. So, normally when comedians do this, they throw in like a little jab to a particular geographical location, like maybe here it would be Ipswich, but I don't have any allegiances like that. So in order to ground it and give you a common enemy to unite behind, I decided I would just let you pick, because I don't really like football. It's not that I look down on it, it's cute. It is. You hate Manchester City because some Italians play a ball game there. It's sweet. I wish I could care about irrelevant shit that much. But, I have a list of locations on this piece of paper. If someone could give me a number from 1 to 10.
9, 6, 7, 6.
Okay, so 797. The place we will be relegating tonight will be Blackpool, so look forward to that. That's the end of that bit. First thing that pisses me off, the war on Christmas. We should pretty much rename it to "Your shit is stupid, but our shit is cool." Not only do we have the clusterfuck of Black Friday to get through in the build-up to Christmas, but we also have a myriad of news stories about the fact that there are other cultures here with different traditions and why that's supposed to piss us off. It's almost as if middle-aged white men and women have trouble letting go. So So yeah, just because they don't see a nativity scene next to every lamppost, they cry and they start writing in journals, and eventually they get together and they try to protest people just really celebrating what they like. And there was a group of people that tried to protest the Hindu festival of Diwali, the festival of lights. That's a magical idea. Like, oh, but no, Britain can't be behind something which symbolises clarity and beauty. No, Britain is about darkness and gravy. And all this shit is giving rise to even more ludicrous things. It doesn't even have to be attached to a specific religion anymore. People go out and they try and protest carnival. Have you ever even been to carnival? Do you just hate it because it looks a bit foreign? No, I mean, carnival's amazing. The spices are strong, the arse is around. Just have some jerk chicken and chill the fuck out. But I suppose you'd rather be at home grumpy eating a shepherd's pie, wouldn't you? Which, let's face it, when you take the melted cheese off the top, it's just dirt and moss. And it's all given rise to this over-the-top nationalism, and I hate it. Groups like Britain First, getting our country back one meme at a time. Memes! They're just pictures. Share if you think this is a disgrace. Fuck off! Fuck Britain First and fuck their fucking hats! So that's the first thing that pisses me off. Second thing is people thinking I'm overly awkward or intense. Creepy, some would say. And it hurts, because I'm not creepy. What happens is, if I'm out and I'm surrounded by people I know, then I'm quite extroverted. If I'm surrounded by people I don't know, I'm quite introverted. That's the way it works. But every so often I meet a complete stranger that wants to call me on the fact that I'm awkward. And part of me just wants to be like, well, maybe I'm not awkward. Maybe you're just a cunt. But I would never say that, because, it's a bit... it's a bit awkward. But I can understand having something against the real creeps, the ones that ghost you for 5 minutes on the street. There's all that anti-catcalling movement. I support your cause, sisters. But there are some people that will take a no for an answer and won't get defensive if you just let them down easily. And that's what I want to get across tonight. So I guess you could say, I'm here to help the creeps. Are there any creeps in tonight? Oh, they're here somewhere. Probably under the tables or something. Yeah, creeps. No, if a girl ever says to you, I'm going to touch you with a 10-foot pole, it helps to have a 9-foot retractable pole in your jacket pocket that you can assemble in front of her. Then you hold it out and say, you know what we call that, bitch? We call that checkmate. Third thing that pisses me off. This is the third thing on the list. And quite possibly the most annoying, 13-year-olds that make drug references they don't understand. I was getting on the bus once, and first of all, buses are bad enough already, because you can't be yourself on a bus. I was sitting opposite this one woman, and I was unfairly judged as creepy, because I was forced to sit opposite her. I was breathing, and I was breathing normally for me, but it was wheezing slightly. It was like making this loud wheezing noise, and she looked at me like I was going to sniff her seat when I got up or something. So eventually, I got so uncomfortable with the notion that this is what she thought that I started breathing less. Bear in mind, I was already breathing the amount I needed to stay conscious and survive. So now I'm limiting my oxygen intake for a complete stranger. And for all I know, everyone else is having a marvellous day. But there was a group of teenagers. See, I got sidetracked. There was a group of teenagers, and they were in a group, and one of them said, are you high? And they all started laughing. And it pissed me off, because to me that speaks of a generation that's misinformed about drugs. Misinformation is the worst thing that can happen with drugs. These people probably still thought that when you have one toke, you see a multicoloured griffin with the face of Morgan Freeman. Let's face it, if that was true, none of us would be here. We'd all be at home taking drugs, because that shit would be incredible. Tell me about space, Mr. Freeman. I've never tried mushrooms, I don't know. But, no, but yeah, the thing I wanted to get across was misinformation. There's already enough dangerous shit out there for kids and teenagers, and I mean, we have ideas from both ends of the religious and political spectrum claiming that they have the answers. You have Iggy Azalea. Speaking of things that piss me off. But not only is that woman famous for having a big ass, she's also famous for being a white girl with a big ass, which I just find annoying. Like, was there just a group of men standing around just looking at the watches like, white one will be here in a minute? Oh, thank God, she's got everything. My girlfriend's black, come on. That means it's okay. You've been to a comedy show before. Jesus. No, yeah, oh, and Meghan Trainor. Yeah, that song, all about that bass. What's it called?
All About That Bass?
What's it called? All About That Bass. Bullshit. I'm bringing Booty back. Booty never left, alright? Plus you're just chubby. Like, I really don't understand. I'm not fat shaming or anything, but I really don't understand where she's coming from. And it's supposed to be about female empowerment when one of the lyrics is about validating your curves by the fact that men have sex with you. So surely that's like the opposite of female empowerment. No treble. Anyway, fourth thing that pisses me off. YouTube comments or just comments in general. I don't think I have to say anymore, but I'm going to. I saw a Facebook post on the way here. It was a story about a girl that got so excited at her boyfriend's marriage proposal, she fell off a cliff. And the first comment was lol. So shame on you people. That's a horrible story, can you imagine? But no, the thing I hate about YouTube comments is that extreme views are hiding there, and they hide behind the anonymity, and they just use it to get the attention that they so desperately crave. Some people just do it for a reaction. But what with all the traffic of opinions, you have to write down the worst, most homophobic, sexist, racist rant you can possibly in order to get yourself noticed. And everyone's doing that. So it just becomes like this blockade of ignorance and bullshit, and I hate it. I hate it. And then you have the thing that happens in reverse, is that people come back at them with their own extreme views, and it's just hate on hate. But I've devised a method of dealing with some troll comments, where you don't attack the person making them, you don't even attack where they're coming from. All you do is undermine them and make it look stupid. So I was listening to a metal band, and someone wrote in the comments, metal music is for psychotic emo fags. And I was still in high school, so I could have gone like full out rage, like, you don't understand! But instead, all I wrote was, and you can't play with us! All he could say was, WTF? Couldn't even respond. But, you know, if you try and argue with these people, you get called a butthurt fag. So that's what I came to. I mean, I was on another YouTube video. I was listening to War Pigs by Black Sabbath. There's a theme developing here. And, like, someone had tried to post a really provocative anti-war comment, and I love those, because they also have a full stop on the end, but for impact, not grammar. Like, you just know. You know that that's why they've done it. But I was not the first person to reply, so it didn't really work, because someone came back, and what happened was someone wrote, I think anyone who believes in the war should be made to go and fight in it. So someone came back with, I do, and I did. I do believe in the war, and I did go and fight in it. So I replied to this person, because I thought I should get involved. And what did you learn? Needless to say, he threatened to kill me. And I'm not welcome in Blackpool anymore, so all's well that ends well, hey? Fucking love it. Yeah, I'm not a hate-filled person. I'm really not. Like, I realise I may have come across that way, but I don't just drift through life getting angry at these kinds of things. If you've listened, then you probably realise I've been poking fun at ignorant people who like to hurt others. But I don't just get angry with this, I have lots of happy memories. One happy memory was when I went to Download, which is a metal music festival. The theme continues. Has anyone heard of Download? Yeah! It might be intimidating to some of you, but it's not that bad, because if you like the music, everyone's just sort of your friend, you know? It's great. I was camping next to some Hells Angels. I loved it. And it's amazing as well, because it's a total sausage fest, but you will see more tits in one weekend than you have in your entire life. Because what they do is they target girls on shoulders and then they flash, and then you just see a group of men running to that place in the crowd like some sort of beacon of hope, and then when they get there, there's just a potted plant. It's like an optical illusion. It's amazing, but I decided I was going to crowd surf, and I landed on my head. But here's how it happened. I was watching one of my favourite bands, Stone Sour, playing what I thought was going to be their last song. Went to my sister's boyfriend, because he's like 6 foot everything, and he threw me onto the crowd. Now, normally when this happens, the crowd has to adjust, you know, slightly. And instead of that, what happened was, you know when Superman takes off and he's got his hands on the ground and all that dust pulls around his ankles? It kind of felt like that was happening underneath me. And I just shot through the air like a dirty blonde shuttlecock. And I went sideways instead of towards the barrier, which is not what you want. I landed with some impact, so everyone was like, "Oh, get this fucking kid off us." Threw me forwards, landed in a gap, landed on my head and on my neck. I'm not gonna lie, hurt for about 2 seconds, but the adrenaline was coursing through me. So I stood up, and I got 2 guys who also had long hair and beards. This is another place where this happens. To put me back on the crowd, and I was moving forwards. I was like, yes, I'm almost free, I'm home free, this is one of the best experiences of my life. And then what happened was the whole crowd jolted forwards when I was about 3 people from the front, and I went forwards, my shoulders slammed into the barrier, my leg came up, and I accidentally kicked a girl under the chin with my steel cap Wellington boots, and her whole head just went back like a crash test dummy. I felt bad, but it was magnificent. And then the guy that was with her, who I can only assume was her boyfriend, by the way he was acting, grabbed a handful of my shirt, made a fist, and just as I thought he was about to punch me, he went, "Yeah!" I thought, I fucking love you, Download. The last thing I saw as I was dragged off the barriers and shown around the edge was he loved it. Last thing I saw when I was dragged off the barriers and shown around the edge was this girl smiling and headbanging, and that's my happy memory that I wanted to share with you guys. That's my Download story. But to be honest, it's quite a fuzzy memory. My jaw started to click after that had happened, and I had all these headaches. I went to the doctor, and he said, you know, there shouldn't be any permanent side effects, you know, like no brain